Okay, we are on right now. Everything is working. Glad to see it's happening. Going to be broadcasting to you soon. Well, one of the first things I'm going to do is say what program this is. Welcome to Clear Blue Radiance, and I'm the originator of this podcast, Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. I'm doing this on the YouTube channel for Resident Essentials Esoteric School of Metaphysics on the Resonant Essentials YouTube channel. Glad to be here today. Everything is working properly, so it's great to know that my mic is all well and good. And I thank you when you come on. Be sure to check, give us a thumbs up, give us a thumbs up and let us know that you kind of like what you see. Also, if you are in the live chat room, be sure to come by and make a comment. Um, I am a spiritual counselor, and I've been counseling people for over 40 plus years. I like helping people like yourself and many people that come on. Hey there, Barbara. Glad to see you. Yes. Um, I've been able to help many people, such as yourself, gain greater clarity in your life and redefine or find your purpose in life. And many of us have a purpose, and our purpose can be consistent year after year, or we might have, hey there, Holly, Emmett, we might have it in such a way where every 10 years, 20 years, it changes because we're constantly evolving. And so if you find yourself evolving all the time, you're going to notice that you're going to have some changes happen in your life. Today's date is Thursday, December 5th, 2024. And part of this, I'm going to relay a dream that I had in the wee hours of December 2nd, 2024, that has a lot to do with today's title. Today's topic is called In Every Moment, Live Your Life with Divine Power and by Divine Grace. Now, how this title came to be was my dream had a very, very powerful message for me, but I also see it for others as well. This particular dream, I was walking around somewhere here where I live, not too far from it, just going for a nice walk, nice sunny, warm kind of day out. And as I was walking down this roadway, I found myself having a talk with Mother Gaia. And we had a very deep, deep communication going on. But I noticed I got, a little chill in the air because I felt at that going up to that moment, it was like summertime. But I got this different feeling. And she released the power from herself to make a difference around me, to make a change. And the message was telling me, release the power, release the light within myself so I could help make a change. Make a change within the light to see a greater change in the world. What was going on was I felt like Mother Gaia, Mother Earth was crying because I saw the clouds come together. Very dark kind of clouds. One side, there was light, but before me, there was this cloud coming over my head. There was a lot of open uh, places, fields. And as I was walking, it felt like she was crying. But her tears weren't clear tears. They were dollops of muddy water. And I said, Mother Gaia, why are you crying such tears such as this? She says, I'm angry. I have a feeling of despair. I am lacking courage. I do not feel the same. Hey there, Golden Timeline 711. Mother Gaia was expressing her pain through her tears. And it was interesting enough, all the tears landed around me, but none of those dark, muddy tears splashed onto me from the ground, and none landed on me from the sky. And I thought that interesting. I said, how come I'm not getting that? She says, my child, my son, you are working with a sense of purity and innocence. There are many people like you on the planet who are working with a sense of purity and innocence from childhood, yet in an adult body. Many adults in the world are like children, are being asked to become like children again, to express purity and innocence. I said, wow, that's amazing. I said, the entire globe? She says, yes, the entire globe. So I asked her, what can I do to help you, Mother Gaia? What can I do to help you? She said, be like a child, go within your heart, touch yourself like this, right over the left. Bring the will of the right and left hemisphere together through the thumbs and begin to go within yourself and listen to a word or a phrase. And then go like this and express it verbally out loud. Well, I did that. And I didn't do it from my head. I did it from my heart and opened my arms such a way and my palms somewhat up. And I said, I want to see feathers, nothing but feathers. That's all I want to see. I didn't specify rainbow, blue, purple, yellow, gold, white. I just said I want to see feathers. I feel that the feathers will help you, Mother Gaia. Well, this profound experience of feathers first were led from the sky by a shower of clear rain. Rain dollops were clear. And this time they were landing on me, all on me. Yet some I felt like I was wet, others I didn't feel like I was wet, but they landed upon me. I knew at that moment that Mother Gaia was becoming clearer within herself again because I asked like a child to see feathers. But again, what came before the feathers were rain drops that were large enough, like snowflakes, and even larger, to land in my hand momentarily so I could see the sacred geometrical patterns that the water was holding. So I was seeing the consciousness of Mother Earth go back up. I saw the frequency rise, and she released snow crystals around me, each have an exact geometrical pattern, and no two were alike. Eventually, those snow crystals turned into miniature feathers, and all around me were feathers landing. And every now and then there was a mixture of larger feathers. And they kept growing. So I kept seeing feathers that were like a half an inch to an inch long from the stem to the tip. Then it graduated away where the stem, the needle stem, that normally goes into the bird, right? Were hollow, opaque, and strong at about 2 inches in length. and the rest of the feather kept expanding. So I saw all these feathers that were coming down from the tip to the top. They were like 3 inches, 4 inches, 6, 7, 8 inches, 10, 12 inches, over a yard and more. To the feathers were just as large as trees and bushes. Feathers that were pure white, that were larger than a lamppost. And you know how tall a lamppost it can be. They were as tall as the lamppost, as tall as the old telephone poles. But eventually, they became 2 and 3 stories high. And the last that I could recollect in my mind, in my memory, was one that was 6 to 8 stories tall. There were feathers coming down that were my height and girth. But the beauty of this was the feathers got louder and they started plopping down around me. And me, I started thinking of myself. So I tried to swoop them up and put them in my pocket, unzip my jacket. And I heard the voice of Mother Grace say, "Hey, hey, put those feathers back." Because Mother Gaia is creating a bed of feathers. And there are people behind you. So when I looked, they weren't that close, but I could see them. They looked like they were this big down the road. But nonetheless, they were coming my direction. These feathers that hit the ground were all white. Some are pearly white, some are silvery white, and just plain matted white. Beautiful flowers in my mind that were feathers. Eventually, these settled down. Maybe it was about enough to cover the top of my shoes. The interesting factor was I heard something coming from a distance. Something not to the right, left, north, south, northeast, none of those, but coming from above me. It was loud. And I said, "Mother Gaia, what is that?" And she said, "Look up." And when I looked up, I looked up just in time. It was a humongous feather coming down, almost like a plane getting ready to crash. I could hear that sound. Stem first. And then it laid itself out and landed on top of me, knocking me into the bed of feathers. Was this huge feather. This huge feather was like the height of a lamp pole outside. It was kind of awkward to move around. But Mother Gaia said, "Now take that one home with you. Go back to your residence and put it in your apartment." Well, here I am walking with this feather. It's not so much it was heavy, it was just awkward because it was big. And I had to hold on to the stem. Stem must have been that round at its highest part going into the feather, but as it dwindled down toward the end, it got thinner and thinner and thinner. Enough where I could grab it like this or grab it like this. And I'm walking. Get to my block and head east. And as I headed east and went past what is called 4th Street, and 4th is spiritual organization, divine order. After I did that, I came to my complex. Now I said, "Well, how am I going to get this over?" And Gaia spoke again. "Lift it up, put it over the fence, just enough so you can open the gate, unlock it, lock the gate back, and then move the feather a little further and then turn it." She said, "But what you're going to do is pick it up." This feather was huge. It's the size of a lamppost, but it was lightweight. I was able to pick it up, stand it on its stem, and then bring it down around. Now I had to put it on the ground. Now I had to open the glass door into my apartment, which happens to be building 3, and I walk in and I go, okay, this is a project. Can't take it on an elevator. Even though it's shrinking, it's still too big. So I decided to do something different. Descend the stairs. But Mother Gaia said, go up the stairs that are closer to where your apartment is. Don't go way down the hallway because someone could see you going way down the hall with this humongous feather and try to ask you questions. So I began to maneuver this, put it into the stairwell, so to speak, on the back end where I live. But I live not far from the elevator, you see. So I put it back there and started to come up the stairs. She said, and lean it over the banister until you keep leaning it up because you have to be in position where you have more of the ceiling above you. And I did that until I got to my floor, opened the door, pulled it through. It was easy. She said, bring it into your apartment, the stem part first. And I could see why, because as I held the door open with something, I was able to set it in up and over part of the nook counter into the living room. It was shrinking, but not that much, because the length from the door and out looked like it was greater than 20, 30 feet or less. So I was able to place it on the ground so that the bottom of the stem touched the wall. At the bottom, I have crystals on the floor. And then I took the top part of the stem and bent it back so it just grazed the door into my apartment. This was an amazing journey because now it's like right across the area where my bedroom would begin. And I came up with that. Is it an ancient African ritual? I believe it is, where newlyweds jump over the broom. So I treated the feather like a broom and I jumped over the broom, or I stepped over the broom into where I could be in my bedroom. And I sat on the edge of my bed and I kept contemplating this humongous white feather that dropped out of the sky onto me that I was able to bring home. Now, I'm sitting on the edge of my bed. I'll say in this moment or in every moment, I'm sitting there in prayer and meditation, describing the situation with an affirmative prayer, and seeing that the connection I have with Mother Gaia would remain with me in my heart, and the connection with that big white feather would remain with me in my heart. Why? Because I have 2 feathers in my bedroom, one on a mini altar by the front door, and a larger one. It's considered a bald eagle's feather that someone gave to me. And that person gave it to me back in 2000 when I lived on Long Island. They gave this to me, and I was able to place it on my main altar with the rest of my selenite, a bald eagle's feather. Soon there was tapping on the roof as if someone was scampering or walking or skipping over my head on the roof. I began to close my eyes and I went into a moment of great inner peace, rocking back and forth to inner peace. And the ceiling opened up, and falling down upon me were all sizes, all shapes, rough and smooth, of selenite. And I mean, it was just pouring down on me like someone backed up one of those big dump trucks on the top of the roof and elevated it, made a hole and made it rain into my room. All of it. By the time it stopped, I got clunked by two big ones, almost as big as my thigh bone on my altar. But I got the message. I got the message. So here's what I found. This message was highly clear. We are returning to innocence and wisdom, coupled with understanding and compassion. For humility, or that we have within, being expressed outwardly from the heart. For humanity, loved ones, neighbors, strangers, employees, employers. White feathers and selenite. And of course, for family members and loved ones. We are born with such power that exponentially increases our ability to achieve great heights. Can you imagine all of this coming together to bless us with achievements ahead of time? Not achievements, not that we do and work and then we see the achievement, but an announcement of achievements coming to us ahead of time. Pure innocence can be found in the still point between the inhalation and exhalation, that slight pause, and then we exhale. That still point, that quiet, silent voice, the higher self, talking to us. This still point is your higher self, as well as what is known as the holy breath of the breath of God, the holy breath, a sacred breath of God. That means the energy of people can feel this. They can make a connection to what I'm saying. In every moment refers to being present now. In every moment, those words mean to become more present. The word present means a gift. And I could see it through here, not just with my physical eyes. And we could see these things in the present moment. Every moment means the present moment. The word present, Present, means a gift, but it also means current moments or current movement, and also represents being present, Present, or set before, or sent ahead. Divine power is infinite and comes through as a part of the divine force and intelligence. But this intelligence, this form of intelligence, is infinite. These things are coming together in this world. There's so much that is happening in the world right now. A lot. But there are more timelines than the one that we see, more timelines than the one that we are experiencing. You see, divine power. In the phrase, it says, in every moment, live your life with divine power and divine grace. Divine power is infinite and it comes through as a part of the divine force and infinite intelligence from which it comes from. That's divine power. Divine grace. People say in some metaphysical and Christian and spiritual churches, they go, you ask them, how are you doing today? Oh, I'm fine and highly favored. Sometimes hearing that phrase can belittle others, make them feel like this. Because they feel joy, great joy too. They just don't feel that little extra oomph in it. So divine grace is more than favor. It is uncommon, infinite possibilities. If something is a possibility, it possesses the ability to hold on to something, usually something of value. Divine grace is more than favor, it is uncommon, infinite possibilities. This means truth within itself that prospers abundantly as it is unconditional. Divine grace is an unconditional instrument. Divine grace brings back not just pure innocence, backed by divine love, peace, and harmony, but with balance, and shall always purify one's consciousness as it ascends with higher consciousness and then descends. It has to come back once it reaches its ultimate dome. It has to turn around and come back. But where is it coming back to? Is descending into you who released it, and you are considered an infinite light frequency. Your arms are infinite light frequencies. Your legs are infinite light frequency. The front of your body, the back and the sides, the ups and the downs is all you. It is all the expression of divine grace. Turn on your light, it says, and turn it up. And this is a good thing for us because the divine grace being backed by pure innocence is backed by what? Divine love, peace, and harmony, and balance, and shall always purify one's consciousness as it what ascends with a higher consciousness and then descends back with infinite light frequencies. So it went up and then exploded like a firework and came down with infinite light frequencies, blinking lights, stable lights, lights like it's shooting comet. But what is it asking you to do? What is divine power and by divine grace helping you to realize? What is it deep inside that is asking you to do? Because every day one of us has something to do. We have something that is unique. I'm going to say that again. Every time we look around, there's something that appears to be negative and something right before it or right after it is giving us that light. And that light we are seeking to have. We're not sure how we're getting the light, but nonetheless, we're getting the light. We're feeling the presence of that light because we need to feel the presence of the light. This topic is called In Every Moment, Live Your Life with Divine Power and Divine Grace for today, Thursday, December 5th, 2024, for my Clear Blue Radiance channel. I'm Brother Francis E. Revels-Bey. How you doing there, Samira? I'd like to thank everybody that I can see in here. Usually I have a lot of people, a small group, but yet it's a lot. Barbara Ewing was here. She's Island Empress. Holly Hammett was here. Golden Timeline 711. And now E. Samara Woods is here. And other people. Later, maybe Jackie Fillmore Antoine may pop through, or Linda Garcia may come. Who else may come in? We might also have Melanie Hall come in and visit. This is a unique time. I didn't plan any other message but today's message. Turn your light, or I should say, turn on your light. That sounds better, right? Turn on your light and turn it up. In other words, keep increasing your light, making it brighter. Take your light and create a handshake with Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, in the presence of her ethers that were present so that you can experience them in this now moment as a gift unto itself. Become brighter than ever before. Anchor your white light so that the blue ray from the great central sun called Sirius, Sirius, the blue star, as some people call it, 94 trillion times bigger than the Earth. But what you want to do is, as you see this blue light, or the blue ray coming out of the great central sun, which is Sirius, you want to see it and acknowledge the presence. And it wants to see and acknowledge your presence. And you want to embrace things and beings, and others want to embrace you because you are deserving of this. No more secrets. You are deserving of this. You are a beacon light. You are a divine light, and your light needs to be seen. It is important to encircle yourself, bathe yourself in the light of divinity. Do that. Seed your light into your home, your property, your apartment complex, your communities, your counties, your states, in riverbeds, in the river streams, in the bodies of ponds and lakes and oceans, so more healing can take place. And when you do that, Gaia shall feel it with great joy, because she's waiting to join her light with your light forever, not just now, but forever. This message I received was pre-sent. See, sent ahead of time, because there are other things happening. Mother Gaia wants to join up, link up with us. And this is important. So before I sign off, in every moment, live your life with divine power and divine grace. I should write that into the chat room, right? And then I want to do a meditation with all of you. Golden Timeline 711 says, Sirius is magnificent and mesmerizing when viewing it through high-powered binoculars. Oh, I know it's beautiful. Today's podcast, I want to make sure I'll get it right. I didn't put it in the beginning, but I'll put it in now. Because we need to have this information here so everyone knows what they need to know. And information comes. Sometimes, I'm up, I guess, around 140. No, not 140, 184 podcasts after about 4 years. I'm approaching 200 one day. But today's topic is in every, in every, not everti, in every moment. In the word moment, what do you see there? Moment. In the word moment, you see mom and men. Mom first, then men, right? And then you see MENT also, as if ENT was like part of entering. Here's mom entering with a message, with a thought. The thought is, in every moment, live your life with divine power and divine grace. Because there's a message in those words, even before this meditation. Just remember that divine power is infinite and it comes through as a part of divine force. That's what you got to remember. We want to make sure you remember that. And also, we want you to remember that we are the still point in action upon the earth. We are the still point in action upon the earth. I kind of hear someone else here, Indigo Moon. I got you, just in case you're in there. So we're seeing and feeling and we're hearing this message. In every moment, live your life with divine power and divine grace. I know you're not late. The beauty of this message, that divine power is infinite and comes through. Divine power is infinite and comes through or comes from divine force. That's how we see this power, right? Coming from divine source itself. And so we see it coming from divine source. Divine source is infinite. But divine grace, some people say, I'm good, I feel great, and I'm highly favored. But everybody is highly favored. If we look at it correctly, everyone is highly favored. And the reason why I say that is because we all come from one light to begin with. One light, one love, one design within itself that is great. Just want to make sure my internet is working. Lots of things are pouring through and not coming out from my cell phone to other things. Well, anyway, what is interesting is that divine grace is uncommon, infinite possibilities. Uncommon means never have been seen before. It's not a common thing. It's infinite. It's divine. It's divine grace is truth within itself that prospers abundantly. Truth within itself that prospers abundantly. And I tell you, everything is operating in its own way today. There's so much energy in here from so much prayer that I've been doing lately. So much energy in here that I turned on my phone and it went off as I expressed the word divine grace and I said divine power. I'm going to say it again. Divine power is infinite and comes through as a part of the divine force and infinite intelligence. That means the divine source of the universe is infinite intelligence. Divine grace is more than just favor, it is uncommon, infinite possibilities. Through truth, it says, truth within itself that prospers abundantly as it is unconditional. Therefore, divine grace brings back pure innocence, backed by what? Divine love, peace, and harmony with balance, and shall always purify one's consciousness. As it ascends with higher consciousness, it descends or returns with infinite light frequencies. This is why you can look at the sun and you'll see flashing going on. You'll see light around the outside of your life. There's a communication that's happening. But here's what I discovered, and I'm not the only one. Thousands or other people have experienced this when you're gazing at the sun, especially at the beginning of sunrise and at the beginning of sunset. You get this communication that goes on. And if you look just right into the heart of the sun around the golden orange aura and then the soft white light, you'll see sparks of light come up. You can put your phone on it and capture it, sparks of light popping off. You'll see something that looks like rose petals around it too. You'll see streams of light pouring out of the sun that your phone camera picks up or your digital video camera picks up. And if it's strong enough, you will hear the sound, a deep drone sound or a buzzing sensation. All of this represents your higher self that dwells in the great central sun speaking back to you. Is far bigger than you. You look like an ant is to you in your physical height. That's how big your higher self is. Like the size of an ant you can see walking on your finger, and you're much bigger than that ant. Do you know that right now, energetically, we can begin to work on ourselves enough where we begin to create positive timelines. In fact, we don't have to create them. They are around us. They said that toroidal field going around us, each one of those areas is a timeline. So the one that this society has us fixated on, which is 3D, sooner or later, you're not going to see it. Sooner or later, you're going to see yourself as an essence of divine force, divine intelligence, divinity. You're going to see your own divinity in front of you. You're going to notice that something has changed about you and you are no longer the same. But you're going to see glitches. You're going to pop in and out, pop in and out. Because right now, I'll say the dark school of magic is doing their last stand. And I sent an email out to some people earlier today to let you know that a Pacific organization has lost its power because the leader of the organization has been blindfolded and now you see something else. And this has been going on for at least the past 6, 7, 8, 9 years or more. This person, she is now struggling. She is not herself. But I'm not going to mention it on here because many other people outside of you all come through here looking at these videos. And I know they look at my one that I have, Circle of Grace 1. So a lot of people are watching these videos. But this one person is now has been overtaken. And I've been told hundreds of people sending her energy to block her, to cut her off from her higher self. It's been going on since around 2012 or after, but specifically closer to 2015, 2016, 2017, leading up to right now. Because actually, earlier this year, she wasn't this way, but she is now. And her channel has been interrupted, infected. So what happens, we see her talking, but you know it's not her. You can see a slight shift in the face. And if you look into the eyes look slightly different. This wonderful person's soul has been taken over. The personal soul self has been taken over. So all we can do is just send her light. But when you send her light, don't bring her energy that she has now. Don't bring it into your auric field. Don't do that. I was expressing that to a younger friend of mine. He said, Why can't I? I said, because if you do, now they'll be reading you too. And they'll be blocking you too. And before you know it, you'll be acting like her over time. They've been bombarding this woman morning, noon, and night with several rounds of people, 24/7. We all got to go to sleep sometime. So at some point, she went to sleep and the guard was shut down. Someone slipped in, many people slipped in and unseated her from her position. She is in position when you see her, but her countenance, her aura has been shifted. And if you look and just gaze without staring, you'll notice the eyes have shifted. And they call that something else, which I'm not going to mention here. I'd rather mention it on my other podcast. But for those of you who may have received the email, you know what was stated. Well, as I get back to this point, yes, when you see these shapes, it is divine source communicating with you. When you see different geometrical patterns, sacred geometrical units in the ethers around you, that's in communication with your higher self. Your higher self is having the remembrance, is releasing that into your energy field so you can now experience and see it. But it already knows what you come back for. It's like that Michael J. Fox movie. What was it called? Back from the Future. They do it in comic books all the time. A hero coming from the future, what? To save himself when he was his mortal self, or save her when she was her mortal self. It is time to ascend our energy, keep ascending, keep raising it into higher consciousness, and keep receiving it as it descends into us with more information. There's a powerful time. We might say, I wish it wasn't happening now, but it is happening in very subtle ways. So shield yourself up, keep yourself in prayer, prayed up, as they say, in the way that you want to be prayed up. Start to speak positive words, sprinkle positive words over your children, children, adult children, teenage children, grandparents, mom and dad, great grandparents if you've seen them already. Go out to those places where you grew up at and sprinkle the light. Show the light to this world because there's more cloudiness coming. And we want to be free. In order to free our mind, we have to free our spirit nature. Don't let it turn back into muddiness. We got to uplift ourselves. Start creating multiple altars in your home. An altar, if you put it outside, it can't be read by someone else that it's an altar. It just looks like rubbish. It just looks like something else. But you can place things outside your home. But sometimes animals are inquisitive. Might have a cat or two step through and take a gemstone. You don't want them eating beads either. So some things is best to just leave at home. Well, everybody, if you need more information about Resonant Essentials Esoteric School of Metaphysics, then you should go to the website www.resonantessentials.com. I also want to let you know that we have a young person by the name of Joanne Rader, and she's our like resident astrologer, and she has an astrology group every Thursday. If you contact her, Joanna Rader, on the website resonantessentials.com, www.resonantessentials.com, you can find out the other practitioners that are there. I believe that there's one that has something called the Albuquerque Tarot. And if you have, I think, the Weight Rider deck, you could join that class and you only pay, I believe, like $10 per class. And you can online learn how to read the tarot. The woman, his name is Susan Pepper Yohola, Jojola. I gotta learn pronounce my J's and Y's in Spanish are different. But anyway, Susan Pepper Yohola. That's how it's pronounced. Jojola, and there's a hyphen between Pepper and that name. She teaches every Saturday, and I think it's like maybe the second or the third Saturday. But you can go on there and connect with her, find out how to pay her. It's only $10, I believe, per class. And she has a host of people online that she teaches tarot, and it's at least, I think, almost 2 hours long. So it's great you get this information from a very profound, sound tarot reader and teacher. There's also many other events that are happening. You'll come to a calendar and you'll see it. And if you go to a part or link that says practitioners, you can click on there and they give you all the practitioners, what they do, uh, and you can connect with them. If you need consultations beyond me, you can connect with them. I just want to get that information out to you. So thank you for watching my podcast today. And remember, in every moment is preset. It's right now. In every moment, live your life with divine power because you have it with you and divine grace. Let divine grace be your aegis, Aegis. Let it be your divine wings that shelter you and carry you from one step to the next step, one layer to another layer, from one area to the next. Even when you travel, you want to call upon the aegis of divine grace, the wings of divine grace, so that you get to your destination on time, get your destination safely, and only have positive beings and positive experiences and positive people around you at all times. I want to thank you for watching in. And again, I'll say it again, Golden Timeline 711. Thank you, Indigo Moon. There she is, Jackie Fillmore Antoine. Greetings to you. Holly Hemmett. Thank you. You call me Sensei. Okay. Yes, yes. So you want to receive that. He has a ADIS, the protection and backing. But there's also the other word that I was using. Aegis is pronounced as Aegis, something like that. And it's the Aegis. It's the wings of. So, but both of them work side by side. Thank you, Indigo Moon. Thank you, Holly Hemmett. Thank you, Golden Timeline. Let me go back up the ladder. Again, thank you, Jackie. Thank you, East Samara Woods. Also, there she is, Barbara Ewing. Thank you, of Island Press, Island Empress. I'll try to be on next Thursday. in the morning. For those of you that follow my friend Brandon Jamal Smith, he has a Forgiveness Thursdays. I have to send you all an email. I'm supposed to be on with two or three other people. I think Lloyd and myself, and we're doing something with forgiveness. So I'll get that email out to all of you so that you can watch that. Brandon, if you're on the East Coast, Brandon does it at 8 p.m. It's only an hour program, so he's able to get a lot of information in 1 hour time. So I'll make sure I'll try to get you to his email address so that you can catch up and listen to that. And you pay by a donation. So that's how that works. As far as I know, Lloyd and myself will be on there together. That'll be on 2 weeks from now in the evening on December the 19th. Anyway, I want to let you know that I'm going to be doing finally some short videos. Short, they're going to be free introductory video workshops done really short. Some might be 10 minutes, some could be 15 or 20 minutes, some 30 minutes, and then I'm going to put them on my Circle of Grace One website. And you'll be able to go in there. At least I'm going shooting for 7. You go in there and you just get this information, no cost, absolutely free. So I'll try to upload it and have it there so that you can watch it. Okay, and that'll be on my website. Take care of yourselves. Be well. Eat right whenever you can. Get a lot of rest. We need it because we're consciously and unconsciously are going to be bombarded with all this fallout that a lot of people are sending out onto the light community. And as you know, they've been working on it for a long time, but we're much better and we're much higher, and we're going to continue to increase our light so we are not experiencing any off the wall stuff. We can only experience that which comes from our higher self, that networks and grids itself out into other higher selves and other domains so that we all work together. Thank you for your time. Until next time, remember that divine grace is a blessing as we are alive and well in the age of remembrance. Look forward to seeing you real soon.